BC Liberal political operative Brian Bonney was handed a 9-month conditional sentence on January 31st for breach of public trust in connection with the BC Liberal Party's Quick Wins ethnic campaigning scandal. Bonney pleaded guilty last October, cancelling a trial that would have stretched until late February, and it would have overshadowed the BC Liberals' election to replace Christy Clark as leader. Bonney will serve his sentence at his home, where he must stay from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day of the week. He is banned from consuming liquor and drugs except for prescriptions. Judge David St. Pierre warned that a breach of conditions would result in jail. In his ruling, St. Pierre said that professional public servants are expected to implement the agenda for the government of the day, and they are expected to put the citizens before political parties. Public office means serving the public and nobody else, he said. Bonney failed to meet that expectation when he breached the trust of British Columbians. The judge found the misuse of government power and resources by Bonney to be a kind of political corruption. Bonney admitted he did wrong, but the judge found Bonney was not the architect of the scheme. During the sentencing hearing, evidence showed that Deputy Chief of Staff Kim Hackstad told Premier Christy Clark in early 2012 about the ethnic campaigning plan. Clark claimed she knew nothing about it until the NDP tabled a leaked copy in the legislature in 2013. The court also heard that former cabinet ministers Harry Bloy and John Yap did not cooperate with the RCMP investigation on advice of their lawyers. If the trial had occurred, Bloy and Yap would likely have been ordered to testify. Outside Provincial Court in Vancouver, reporters heard from Ravi Kahlon, the NDP Parliamentary Secretary for Multiculturalism, and Bonney's lawyer, Ian Donaldson.
This case was, the scandal was about deception, it was about manipulating immigrant communities, and it was about a government that cared more about their political interests than they did the public. And so today, although I'm pleased that Brian Bonney has been charged and sentenced, I'm disappointed that I'm disappointed that we were told by the government that they were fully cooperating, and we heard from the Crown today that wasn't the case. I'm also disappointed that the people who were directing his task and directing him did not face charges. John Yap, who's an MLA, was mentioned in court several times, did not cooperate, and at the same time is not charged. And then many other people that were involved are working on various leadership campaigns, and life goes on. So it's both positive and a negative for today.
But the evidence here was that Mr. Bonney was not directing this, that he was taking orders from other people.
Yes.
Is there any disappointment that he's the only one that's being held accountable?
Well, I suppose the public might be disappointed. The checks and balances that ought to have prevented this all happening didn't operate in the way they ought to have, and things slipped through and leaked through. I don't think anybody involved in this is nefarious or evil, but people get carried away and aren't paying close enough attention to where the line is, and they have to.
Bonney later emerged from court 2 hours after he was sentenced and did not answer any questions from reporters.
Give us a comment, Brian. Brian, how did you afford the defense? Ian Donaldson said that you haven't had any jobs, you've been on commission. How could you afford the legal bills? Are you involved at all still with the party? Brian, are you supporting any leadership candidates? Will you ever sit down for an interview to talk about what this has done to you?
Bob Mackin, TheBreaker.News, Vancouver.